Xbox, Record This is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. If you'd like to find out more, head to xboxrecordthis.com. Oh, hello. Daddy Diwali here. And welcome to Xbox. Record This episode 29. This is our third take because it froze before and my computer crashed. And I'm about to lose my mind, you guys. But happy birthday, Xbox. Joining me, as always, the assistant to the co-host, Chipotle Bear. How are you?
I am in a similar vein. My computer has not crashed, but we have one day until Thanksgiving break, and it could not come soon enough. Thankfully, I have this reprieve in my life to have some fun with you guys, talk about the pretty exciting week in Xbox. We had a pretty awesome surprise this week. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, man, ready for break and just not thinking about work for 10 days will be real nice. Bubble Boy, how are you?
Actually, let me do that. Bubble Boy, I have a question for you. Bubble Boy, do we have next week off? I don't even know. Or do we have to work the 2 days? Because Severson said we have
the whole week off.
With the whole week off. I've been under the impression that I'm working on Monday and Tuesday. So I have no idea what's going on.
Remember we had fall break was...
We didn't have a fall break,
correct.
Yes.
Well, we had one. It was... They
Well, it was not the normal week. Yeah. Okay. Well, joining us as always, the assistant to the co-host, Bubble Boy and Seven. Jose, really quick, I'm going to need an assistant to the general manager quote in there as well. Bubble Boy, how are you?
Same as Chapo, and I think same as you, which is like, I think if we did have to go to school on Monday and Tuesday, I'd have just quit. I mean, like, not worth it. I'm done. I'm out of here. See you guys later.
Full-time podcaster.
It's been a particularly awful week for Aurora for many reasons. So let's just jump into some shout outs. Maybe the shout outs will cheer us up here.
Yeah.
First shout out is we got some random comments on some of our YouTube videos, and I wanted to share them with you. And this is coming from our old friend Xbacon Gamin. Again, amazing name. Xbacon Gamin. He gave us
funny story. Do you know where his name comes from? I found out. He is a former police officer, and so he is Xbacon Gaming.
Xbacon.
So shout out.
Wow,
yeah,
I get it.
Love it.
Oh, because pig.
You could see the wheels turning on that one.
Who is he? Do we know him? Do I know him?
We do. He is a husband of one of my awesome co-workers at Bear Creek, Miss Nell Jarrett, her husband Jason.
Nice.
So shout out to Jason.
We have a real fan.
We have a real fan.
Amazing. Awesome. We have a real fan. Shout out.
We have lots of real fans. Awesome. We have lots of real fans.
Xbacon. What was he, Lakewood PD or he's retired?
I don't know what department he was. Not? If he writes in or I find out, I will let you know.
Okay, Xbacon, write us in. Thank you so much. That really does make me happy. So he says, Jose, I completely agree with you on your review of The Avengers. The second I rolled the credits on the main story, I deleted the game. Definitely worth it on Game Pass. And on a side note, Forza is straight fire. So, of course, we're right on the money with Forza. And then his other comment was, with EA Trials, it's 10 hours of total gameplay, so it can be spread out over multiple sessions. Just make sure you completely quit out of the game when done. That your time continues to tick down if you're browsing in the store or it's running in the background. So, yes, and it is true. Here. I did play almost 10 hours of Battlefield. My time's actually not up, and I actually played a lot of it. I feel like it should have expired. So it is definitely 10 hours at any time. So shout out to Xbacon Gaming. Please send us any comments, questions, concerns, or ideas. Send us a top 10 here, Bacon.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to have one from him.
A big, huge, massive shout out to our boy. We got to write in, you guys. And Jose, where can people write into us? What's that?
It would be Xbox Record This at gmail.com. XBOXRECORDTHS at gmail.com.
Or if you ask Siri, and she reads it in your car to you, she says Xbox Record This. I don't know if you guys have had her do that.
Nobody cares about Siri. And as always, here's
record yourself.
Felix wrote in and said, "Hey guys, I'm glad to hear that you guys are doing well and have beautiful families. I've really enjoyed listening to the podcast. I think the three of you guys make a good team and complement each other very well. Since you guys talk a lot about Game Pass, I ended up getting it, so thank you for that. It's been nice trying different games
We got one
that I wouldn't normally buy. I want to say thank you for the first shout out, the one about my wife. She's doing well. She's completed 6 rounds of chemo and had her surgery. Nice. The doctors say she's at stage 0 now. So thank you again for the support. So big shout out.
See,
awesome news.
That'll make all the other bullshit going on.
There you go.
Awesome,
exactly.
Felix.
Shout out, man. That's awesome.
Shout out to Felix. Shout out to your wife. We got to get you guys on the show. Here are his top 5 favorite games. And he says, please do not clown too much on this, LOL. Number 1. Actually, we'll go 5.
You know
we'll
what?
Go
Time out real quick. Does he have an Xbox? What? Obviously.
Yeah, I've got him on my friends list. Where
I don't
have you guys
have him
been?
on mine.
You didn't tell us his name.
Tell us his name.
I know. I just literally just got it like last week. I saw it at the park.
Like,
he added me.
I didn't know if he was playing on PC.
I will send you. Okay, he has a Series X, big Xbox fan.
We probably shouldn't out his entire name to the millions of listeners.
We are giving his name out to all of our millions of listeners, right?
Sorry, Felix,
I'm pretty sure it was like
80 billion requests coming.
Friend requests coming up here. Oh, it's easy. It's FAT10, FAT space 10. That's his gamer tag. He's got like a bulldog as his gamer tag.
How did he pull that
awesome
off? He must have had it back in 2001.
Hey, he's one of the OGs. So back to his top 5 favorite games. Number 5.
Hold on. What's his middle name? Is it Alfredo? Because Felix Tuesta, Fat 10. Just saying.
Number 5, WWE SmackDown versus Raw. The reason this is on my list are because of the memories I had playing the 6-man ladder matches with my friends. It was just fun getting a group together and playing on one TV. Number 4, this is the great one, Felix, Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
Love it. Number 3, love it as well, Splinter Cell. Stealth
above
action
Metal
redefined.
Gear. Wow. And you're okay with that, Daniel?
Love it.
You guys are still talking?
I mean, I don't know. Hideo Kojima. Number 2, and this is another good Felix. You've got some great games on here. Assassin's Creed 2, quite possibly the best Assassin's Creed there is. And number 1, does anyone want to take a guess at what Felix his number 1?
Can you give us a hint?
Game of all time is? He's obsessed with this in all things life.
FIFA 2003.
Correct. That is right.
Ooh,
FIFA.
That's a good one.
Chance knows Felix very well. He said soccer is my sport, and I've been playing the game since FIFA 98.
But which one's his favorite?
Wow.
Like, did he just said FIFA or
He just said FIFA.
I wonder if
he
FIFA
just loves to play it all
or
the time.
any of those other ones are like Madden in that like there is a definitive best one. Like the Madden with the hit stick was
pretty revolutionary. And you could still play co-op. You can control your routes. You can actually have co-op.
I'm just curious, Felix. So now I guess you got to tell us which if there is a FIFA.
Which year?
Yeah.
Okay, Felix. There's your homework. Thank you so much for writing. Felix has more though, and I just want to let you know, Felix, that before I suggested we do this as a warm-up question, but Chance didn't want to do it, and I just want to point that out.
And I'm not hating.
Since
I am. In fact, actually hating.
He thinks
I'm sorry.
He thinks it's too early, Felix, but I don't care. I'm with you. I'm over Thanksgiving, overrated holiday. Since Christmas is next month, what are your guys' top 5 Christmas movies? P.S. There's no beef. LOL. I'm glad there are other people listening to all the episodes. I know you guys are going to be successful with the podcast and wish you nothing but the best. Thank you, Felix Tuesta. Thank you so much, Felix, for writing in. And that brings us right into our warm-up question, gentlemen. What are your top 5 Christmas or holidays movies? Would you like me to go first? Because I have a feeling you're going to be very, very disappointed with.
Because you only got two
ever not?
So here we go, guys. Number 5. And this is good.
Had 5,
we spoke about this.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Well,
big shout out to Felix then for coming up with a question you could have 5 answers to.
You filled out your worksheet.
Well, you haven't heard my 5th. So number 5, we talked about it last week, and this was on the list of top movies of all time on like Variety or something. It was actually number 20. Eyes Wide Shut, Chance, a psychological thriller that was set during the holidays. Number 5 on my list.
That qualifies it as a
And
holiday
you didn't
film
even know what
because
it
it
was
was
called
set in
last
December.
week.
Number
What's that one movie
4.
called? It was super shitty with Tom Cruise.
But we both remember. Did you? Oh, Kaka
sorry.
edit 9:35. Gosh, number 4. A Christmas Story. And this is honestly, for some reason, I don't know why, but my family was always watching this. And the more I think about it, this movie is not that good. And I don't know why.
Yet it's
but
number
that's the only one that comes
your
Top
list.
5 right there.
It's just so old now. Like it's like I don't even know if kids
Credit,
can relate to it. With
It was never good. It had nothing to do with its age.
I never said.
You did say
Okay.
it was. You put
Number
it at number 4.
Well, it's for me growing up as a child. That's what I remember watching all the time. Number 3, and I need to watch this again because I don't watch this all the time like you, Chance. Christmas Vacation. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched it. I know that'll make you very mad, but
You're missing out.
Say, where's the
dude,
boot
you guys,
this guy or the?
Yeah, we need to get a recording of me.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah,
Well,
I'll take that.
That's not bad. I need you to get a recording of me saying somebody boot this guy from the party. Number 2. This is a good one. Home Alone, classic movie.
Classic.
I know it's not a traditional holiday spirit. It's all great. Amazing film. Let's be real. Basically Macaulay Culkin is literally killing people in the movie. I don't know how he doesn't kill any of the bad guys. And number 1, does anyone want to guess what my number 1 Christmas movie is? I think you guys know, knowing me. Come on.
I don't know.
That would be Mr. John McClane, Die Hard.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Die Hard, number 1. Great movie. One of the best action movies of all
Except
time.
that Bruce
actually.
Willis himself has been on record multiple times saying this is not a Christmas movie. Just FYI.
I don't really care. It was on multiple lists, and that's fine. It's technically whatever. It takes place during a holiday party, whatever. Let's hear yours, guys, because we all know mine was.
I'll go.
Decent,
we'll let Jose back clean up on this one. Coming in at 5th was Home Alone, and I just couldn't not put it on my list. So, and 5 actually is pretty good for my list. It doesn't mean pure caca like Daniel's list. Number 4, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, not the original cartoon, but the one with Jim Carrey. The live action Jim Carrey is pretty darn good.
He's scary looking in that one, man.
I know.
He's scary.
Yeah, and
small
I
children.
can I preface that this, and I know Elf is going to be on some lists. I've only seen those a few times, so I can't put them on my list because I don't watch them religiously. Exactly.
Hundreds.
So I have respect for these movies. I just want to know everyone to know that. Okay.
And which is a great segue to my number 3, which is Elf, hundreds of times. I can't not watch it when it comes on every time. So number 2, and I am sorry, Jose, I feel bad for you or not for you, but Love Actually went number 2, because number 1 had to be Christmas Vacation. But it was a pretty massive battle there at the top.
I mean, really, number 2, Chance? I didn't know you even liked this movie that much.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you
incredible.
laughed at Jose when
Oh my
you said
God!
No, he did.
No,
When we
I
lived together,
knew
we
that
used to
was
watch
going
it
to
every
be
year.
his. Yeah, it absolute 10 out of 10 smash hit. What's our new rating system? I'd skip work and call in sick
we
and
need
lie
to
to
talk
the wife
about
to
that
watch
next.
it. Is that what the?
Anyway, Jose, let's hear your list now. Let's clean up here.
So here, you know what's crazy? I swear we did not even talk before the show. My list is almost identical to Chance's with one exception. My number 5 was The Grinch, but not the Jim Carrey one. I actually like the brand new one with the Pharrell Williams soundtrack with Benedict Cumberbatch as the
that
Grinch,
one is
the cartoon. It's really good.
It's good too.
Really good.
And
We're gonna watch it at
You
lunch.
guys don't
at
like
school
the
next
original
couple weeks.
cartoon
no,
one? What's wrong with
No.
that
There's a
one?
new CGI one.
I know. I'm
DreamWorks
saying, but
one.
none of you guys like the original.
I didn't
No, I
not
do.
like
It's
it.
just not
It
my top
wasn't my
5.
top 5. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, number 4 was Home Alone, the original. Even though I actually really liked the sequel in New York, that was like more memorable to me as a kid. But in hindsight, watching them, Home Alone 1 is the more classic one.
Jose, that video game, loved it on the SNES.
Oh my god,
so
such
good.
a good
I could
game.
beat that
with
that
the
was
big
a good
spider in the
game.
basement. Remember that one,
Dude, there's so many things you could do. I remember the vacuum would always suck you up at the store or something like that. Oh man, what a great game.
Number 3, Elf as well for Chance. Same reason. It's a classic film. I laugh every time, even though I know all of the lines and all of the jokes. There's a reason it's a cultural phenomenon. And I actually learned recently that this year that Will Ferrell actually turned down doing a sequel. They actually came to him and said, "We want to do a sequel. Here's the script." And he said, "Absolutely not. I refuse to. There's no way it would be as good, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to ruin the original film." So I really
love
respect that
I
out
have
of for
so
him.
much respect for that. Like, we're not just going to do a cash grab. It's perfect the way it is. I love that. Good for him.
Yeah. Number 2 for me was also Love Actually. Even though it's one of my top favorite movies of all time, I did have to put it at number 2 because here's the thing: like at Christmas time, I don't think like can't wait to watch Love Actually. I do think that about Christmas Vacation, like legitimately, especially like I think about like this week at work has been rough. I could legitimately watch that and totally like forget everything and just laugh and be like, things are gonna be fine. So number 1 definitely Christmas Vacation with Cousin Eddie. I have to get some sound bites in here. Right? I didn't think about that, but I will do that ahead of time. So yeah, almost identical to chance.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
A couple other quick honorable mentions though before we walk away. I did have Die Hard on my honorable mentions. I do consider it a Christmas movie as well. Also Gremlins. A lot of people don't put that in Christmas category, but I put that in there. And then the other one, it's a newer one, and not a lot of people actually saw it. I thought it was pretty funny and actually really heartwarming, especially thinking about like you guys and Close Friends, was The Night Before. Seth Rogen and Anthony Mackie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, like a pretty cool little story and a great tale about friendship and stuff like that. So I also put that on my honorable mention list as well.
Speaking of honorable mentions, and this isn't on my list, but you made me remember it. Did that movie come out with Seth Rogen and all those guys where like the world ended?
Yep.
And like, what was that movie called?
This Is the End, right?
This Is the End? Is that what it was?
I think so. I'll look it up while you're talking.
That's not the same movie,
I feel like you're
right?
trolling us all of a sudden.
No, This Is the End. No. Have you seen it?
I've
yes.
seen it like 12 times.
It's hilarious,
amazing.
right? I specifically remember seeing that with again, my ex comes up again with Tina, and I think I went with her family, and I was like so embarrassed because isn't there like bad nudity and like messed up stuff happening?
It's and Michael Cera.
It's like super raunchy, yeah. And I just remember laughing my butt off and just being like, I don't even care. This is hilarious. Like I can't help but laugh at all. This is amazing.
And
I think her
the F-bomb to Hermione.
Oh gosh. And it's like one of those movies where it's like you just dread seeing with like your parents. Like I remember Allie said she watched Wedding Crashers with her dad, like sitting next to her. And I was just like, oh, like I could just feel the tension. And then the other day, you guys, speaking of awkward moments watching something, when her parents were last year, we were watching Sopranos. And of course he's like, yeah, I'll watch some of this. And of course, guess what scene pops up? No, worse, where he meets the Mercedes-Benz saleswoman, and he like finger nana her.
If we're gonna cut
in the snake pit room or whatever, and then he just
you're gonna have to.
Oh my
cut
gosh,
that.
it was so bad.
I don't think you
guys.
can say that on air.
I said I didn't say anything. Anyway, man, bringing me.
Go back and edit that.
17 minutes.
He does some dirty things.
Well, thank you so much, Felix, for your ride in Xbacon game, and we expect your next top 5
coming soon.
Warm-up question. Please hit us up, guys. What have you been playing? Well, actually, let's start out with this. Halo dropped. Huge news. Shadow drop on Monday. They're still calling it the multiplayer beta. The rumors were true. We were talking about it all weekend. Jose and I were slaying it up last night, having a great time, getting angry as always.
Oh yeah.
A lot to talk about with the progression, and we'll talk about that later. I don't think Bubble Boy has played it. He's been sucked into Resident Evil. So, Bubble Boy, why don't we go to you? What have you been playing?
Resident Evil, and I wish I could explain it in a better way other than it's just so compelling to me to keep wanting to play. So I finally did get 1,000 out of 1,000 today, which was impressive.
Incredible.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as hard as I was expecting, but oh boy, that legendary cowboy achievement for beating the mercenaries with all S ranks, that was, oh my God. But it wasn't a grind. I can see it on your face. It did not feel like a grind. I'm telling you, it wasn't like, I mean, I definitely tried it over and over and over, but I'm like, okay, well, I want to do this different. I want to do this different. And now I know I need to take this angle and I need to run up these stairs instead of those stairs. And I'm telling you, I felt I was enjoying my time for every single second I was playing it, and I don't know what else more you could say, what kind of accolades you could give a game other than that. So
impressive.
Jose,
1,000 out of 1,000 is ridiculous, dude.
Kudos to you, yeah, because I love Resident Evil. I loved Resident Evil 2 Remake. Like, that's one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm still like, I don't want to do this, We're going to talk about worth your time stuff in a second. Jose, what have you been playing? I know. Give me and leave me with some, or get to your thoughts on Halo so far, after
Yep.
you
So
if there's
before the Halo drop, because I do want to talk about that too, I was playing a lot of Forza 5 Horizons. Phenomenal game. Just like genuinely fun, having a great time driving all around Mexico, just gorgeous scenery. Got to play a little bit with my daughters and stuff. Just such a great game. And like you guys said last week, what's super cool is like legitimately, if my wife was like, hey, we're going to go to the store in 10 minutes, I could literally run down, do a race, drive and go get something and pause it and leave, because like quick resume works flawlessly. And it was genuinely fun and I'm having a great time. Definitely plan on going back. But I honestly thought I had more time because we didn't think Halo was coming out till December 8th. And then we got wind because Daniel had been meticulously shopping for his Halo Xbox unsuccessfully right now. I'm sorry, buddy. But we saw that online it said that the release date for Halo was Monday. And so we were like, it's not Monday, it's the 8th. They've said that forever. I mean, like, it was a very big deal on all of our nerd chats this weekend. And sure enough, we got a brand new surprise in honor of their 20th anniversary. They said we're releasing the multiplayer early. They did say it's in beta, which I know we're going to talk about in a little bit. In terms of like glitches, virtually zero. We did have one time last night, speaking of which, where I did get kicked out. I don't know if that was Halo. That could have been my system for some reason. You know, it happens. They're all computers, right? But otherwise, having a great time at Halo. And I am not very good at Halo. Like, I am consistently on the bottom of our like team boards, playing with Dan, who's freaking like diamond ranked. I am just getting destroyed in his games. But my skill levels are improving because, you know, when you play against teams that beat you, you get better. And I finally did get ranked last night, and I actually made it to gold tier 2, which is, you know, it's not diamond, but I'm pretty proud of it, which is awesome. And it's just been great, man. It's so fluid. It's so fun. The controllers, like, they just came back after I haven't played Master Chief Collection in probably over a year. So I had like no practice and I got right into it and it was totally normal, natural. A lot of fun, man. The one tiny critique I have of it, well, two critiques. One is the progression system, but I'll hold off until we get to that as a topic. The other one that I just wish that we had more control over the types of games. I don't love Oddball. I don't mind it. I respect it. It's a great game. It's just not for me. And we played Oddball so many times. I wish we could just choose Slayer or choose Capture the Flag. Like, I just wish we had a little more of that microcontrol. And I'm hoping that's part of what they mean by when they say that it's a beta, that when that ends, we will be able to fine tune that on the 8th of December, but we will see. So that's what I've been playing this week. I've been very happy. I'm planning on a lot of gaming when we get back from our Thanksgiving trip. And of course, as we get into winter break. So that's what I've been up to.
Jose, I will echo your thoughts on Halo. I think it plays phenomenally. They definitely improved controller feel, because I remember when I played the beta, I was like, something feels off. Improved it. It's pretty awesome actually at the 5.5. I actually lowered it to 4 and my right camera to 1, because I'm still very glitchy whenever I'm moving my thumbstick, and that's probably on me. I think I need to get Chance one of those longer ones like the Elite has. Like, they say that slows down and makes it more precise on that right thumbstick. But yeah, I'll have to send you a YouTube video about how I don't know if it's longer. I think it's like it just takes a lot more to move it. So it's
I've never even
less twitchy.
considered
But anyway,
using that one. That's the only
and
one
now
I haven't ever.
Yeah. But the thing is I remember it has to be a certain shape too that helps. So
the convex or the like concave?
Convex, and I think the one we have that's long might be concave, which is what you don't want. That comes
Not
with the Elite.
in
But check on that
the
for me.
Halo Edition one.
Well, I'll have to check what I have. I can't be that much different. Anyway, you do get a cool skin for that and a cool charm. So I'm very angry at myself for not grabbing that. Jose, the progression, yes, I think it's the weakest part, but they're already addressing it. And it's only been out a few days and they've already changed it. Impressive already. And I get that it's supposed to take time, especially since they extended the season to May. But some people want to feel like they're earning stuff. And actually, if the game's fun, even if they get to 100, they're going to keep playing. Like that's the bottom line. But they also want to feel like they're earning something. So I get it. Like, I see both sides. Like, you want to have a carrot at the end of the stick to keep, getting people to play. But at the same time, if it's fun, people are going to continue to play. I haven't really had any issues. It runs pretty flawlessly. I haven't noticed too many glitches. Maybe sometimes your character's facing the wrong way here and there at that start screen, but I love the customization. It sucks like you don't have that much options at first, but there are some cool skins. Like, Jose saw me, Alan, and Miggy each paid the $10 to get a pretty sweet skin, and I actually really think they're pretty cool. So I agree with Jose that I wish you could select which game you want, but I think they're doing this on purpose because, like you said, it's still beta and they want you to play different game modes because I don't mind mixing it up. But yeah, I wish there was just a Slayer only. And I think people would really benefit from that. Bubble Boy, what did you want to ask?
Did that $10 get you one skin?
Got me one skin.
Goodness.
But it is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty sweet. There is a free one. But if you think about it, Chance, it's like $25 for a Call of Duty thing, and you get like a skin, a gun, and something else. So it's not like that far off.
It's comparable to what you pay in other games.
Yeah, it really is. But I really like it, Chance. Like you'll see some of those. Like there's a sick orange and black one. Like I'm like, ugh. And there's even this red one that you might get for Chiefs. So
I can remember sticking with Guardians for probably a month longer than I would have otherwise, just because I loved upgrading my Spartan. Like I was like, and just changing them and stuff. So
and like that was different because that was just rank based. Like this is like you earn experience like in Call of Duty towards the Battle Pass, and that's what unlocks stuff for you. So if you're just playing without the Battle Pass, you don't really unlock much, do you, Jose? I think you have to have.
Yeah, you don't get anything without the Battle Pass, at least right now.
Exactly.
But again, go ahead.
It's like this is new. Like Halo's never been free. This is free to play. We didn't pay a dime, and we are playing a full multiplayer suite of Halo, which is, and not to mention a well-made, polished, working game compared to some others.
Dice.
So I see. Yes. So I don't have as big of a problem with the Battle Pass as others, but I do feel like yes. I want to see how it is after this update. I haven't had a chance to drop in. So Jose, go ahead. Give me your thoughts on it too.
I was just gonna say, and I haven't had the update either.
Too.
But so as someone who is not really great at first person shooters, like I'm decent. Like I'm not horrible, but I'm not at the top of leaderboards. I really appreciated in Warzone the fact that like if I just have a freak game because I get some lucky shots and I find some great drops, that at the end of that game I see a pretty significant growth that one time. Like that's enough of a carrot for me to be like I can play 40 more rounds now where I do pretty spectacularly bad because I know there's those pockets where I'm going to see some significant jumps. That's what I wish Halo had. Like it does. You know, it's crazy. You see people getting like 60 kills and I'm over here with my like 11. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like they shouldn't be rewarded because they're killing it literally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I would say the counter to that is like, yeah, I'll have a really good game and I'm like 16-2, and then I see Chipotle Bear at 2-11 or something. You'll still get the same XP as me. So but
we're both getting very little XP.
True.
It's like I got a quarter for you, Audrey. You know, you're like, okay. Thanks,
I'm just saying, I'm interested to see how it is. I get both sides of it. People are making it out to be a big deal. I think because they love the game so much and they want to feel that sense of being rewarded. And so to them, that's like the only little thing that's really disappointing. That and the server select or play type select. And I agree. And I think that's coming. Like technically this is still a beta and they've already addressed progression, like, and they're listening. So I think Halo is off to a great start, all things considered. Comparing that to my 10 hours with Battlefield, Bubble Boy, I know you'll be excited to hear about this. So I will say it is much better than the beta. They did improve a lot. I don't see random flat. I don't see many random flashes of lights. It's not as glitchy when you're in vehicles. It runs a lot smoother for some parts. There's a new game mode called Breakthrough. Haven't been able to play it, Chance. I've tried maybe 15 times to get into a game. Doesn't even load. Error. Then it'll load you into the map, but then you can't spawn. And then you see the chat box saying, what the heck, DICE? This game sucks. This game is broken because nobody can get into a game. Is there a word for
that? What's that? I feel like it's called... Diced.
Yeah, getting diced. Okay. So that's a huge problem. Then there'll be games when you'll unlock new attachments to your gun. You'll select them so you can select it with that LB. You'll go into your game. They're just not there. Just nothing's there. And you'll go round after round after round and it's just not there. Like things don't appear for some reason. Or you'll add something for vehicles, not there. Or they even addressed this today. I think there was a patch. Hit detection. You'll be shooting a guy right on. Nothing's registering. And they even talked about it. The rubber banding. Basically, there's a day one patch that came out today. Yeah. That's only that issue. And then I did like Hazard Zone, which is only 32 players. That actually runs well. Shocking with the one with only 32 players actually plays pretty well. and it's pretty cool, Chance. So basically, it's a squad of 4, kind of like Warzone. You drop in, you have to get these data cards. Jose, did you play with us on that one?
No,
Or
I
was
wasn't
that
playing that
Nico?
one. It was Nico that
Okay.
first night.
So yeah, so we had 4 people. It's pretty cool. So you can go pick one up, and then you have these sensors, and then people can see that you're carrying one, and they can go after you. And then you have to extract. So there's 2 chances to extract. There's a helicopter that comes in. You can try to go for the first one and defend it and get out, or you go for the last one. And it's a pretty cool mode. The only problem with that is that it got a little repetitive, and there are some bots in there. But you should definitely check that out, Chance. And then the last thing is Conquest. Again, was running better, but it's just like some of the maps, man, you're running for like 3 minutes and you don't see anybody. And if you're not in a vehicle, you're just running, and then all of a sudden you'll get picked off and it's over, or you'll spawn on the base and you get killed. Like, it's just these little things where it has so much potential, but again, it's like a game that is going to be fun to play a year from now. And when comparing that directly to Halo, which just really doesn't have any issues besides the progression, and the Battlefield progression's okay, but I don't know, guys. I still haven't bought it, so I'll say that. So go ahead, Bubble
Hot
Boy.
take of the year. I'm glad it sucks, and I don't have to waste any time with it, and we can spend more time playing Halo and Forza. And
Exactly.
they're going to be competing for time. Like Jose said, we're going to have to do a block schedule of how to play all these things. I'm kind of happy. It's like, great, okay. Because I'm going to have very, like I always do, I'll have just a few times here and there where I'll play multiplayer, and I don't want to be ready to play. And then, oh, God, we're playing Battlefield tonight? Gross. It's great, awesome, let's play some Halo.
You'll definitely get your time's worth in Halo, because it works. Instant, you'll get instant games, instant gratification. Arena is super fast rounds. Big team is cool. I would say another negative, I feel like there needs to be more big team maps like that, but whatever. I'm sure that will come.
Still beta though, remember.
I know, it just runs night and day difference, Chance. Halo is a finished game, even though it's a beta, and the game that comes out tomorrow is not a finished game.
I was bragging.
We'll be in beta for months.
At lunch to Eric, my PlayStation buddy, because I just fired it up on my phone on the cloud gaming and let the menu screen sit there, and he even knew the song, the Jose. What's that sound? How's it? Yeah, and we were just sitting there listening, or having lunch, listening to the Halo song.
I have to say, Bubble Boy, though, I really want to play the campaign. I wish the campaign was out too. But this is good. This is kind of a nice, hey, have fun with this multiplayer, and then you're going to be blown away by the campaign, hopefully. So the last thing I want to say that I've been playing, guys, I started Skyrim again. Chance, it's over. I'm going to spend another $100. I created Zumog, my orc. I've never done an orc. And he is a conjurer. I've never done conjuration. I conjure my little dog to come with me, and I
did conjure my very last ever Skyrim run. Yeah, and it wasn't.
And the game's beautiful. The music, you're right. I'm just sitting outside, right when you walk out of the cave. How can you not be blown away and just want to explore the world? It's insane. And this is 10 years old, you guys. 10 years.
I'm even more upset that neither of you had it on your list after listening to that Todd Howard interview. It is so good. And like I said, I think I texted you guys last Friday on my way to work. Hey Siri, play the play the Skyrim soundtrack, and it was more energizing than the coffee I was drinking.
So shout out to Skyrim. I'm sucked in again. One quick question, Bubble Boy. Is Dragon Age Inquisition worth my time? I thought about getting that because it's on EA Play.
It is, and mostly just because you can reminisce with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Well,
FPJ,
I know you told me he's the Iron Bolt. I don't even know who that is, but people were saying that. I was reading reviews on the Microsoft, the store page on the Xbox.
I liked it.
Everyone was writing, I really liked the Iron Bolt.
And I was close.
So apparently I missed out on a performance there.
Oh gosh, this was actually kind of a quick game, and there's this very distinct point that happens, and then I was like, oh my god, this game just started. Ooh, I'd be floored. I'll be more floored if you have time to finish it, as floored as you were that I got 1,000 out of 1,000 on Resident Evil Village.
Okay, guys, let's quickly go through the news. And these are, I want to get through them quick because I want to celebrate Xbox a little bit towards the end. And I also want to talk about a review process. So first story, I just want to mention this. We're not going to talk into this in details. Activision is going off right now. The CEO, I think it's Bobby Kotick, right? Apparently he knew about all of this horrible stuff that's going on at Activision, and the staff has walked out. The Jim Ryan, the president of PlayStation, Phil Spencer at Xbox have both condemned everything that they've done, and they're reevaluating their relationship with Activision. So, I mean, again, I don't really want to comment until I'm more educated on this and learn more about everything, but it just doesn't sound good with Activision. I just want to put that out there that it's going down over there, and it looks like some horrible stuff. I thought I read somewhere, Jose, that the case had settled already. The previous one, like they settled the California, like settled it already. So it was on its way out. Like people were already forgetting about it, but then all this came out. So
I don't know.
I
mean, it could have been the criminal charges were settled, and maybe they're on the civil charges. I don't know, but yeah, it's bad, man. And I praise both PlayStation and Xbox for saying like we're not going to tolerate this. And to be fair, Activision and Blizzard have both come out saying like, we agree with you. We hear you. We're trying to work on it. But it's also clear that they were allowing it / condoning it, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So that's also not great.
They're still kind of backing him up. I mean, he hasn't stepped down. So, like, I don't know. I remember I was watching. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to acknowledge that, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of mentioned this before, and this is coming from Eurogamer, from Ishraq Subhan. Battlefield 2042 is getting a day one patch to fix critical issues. So the updates basically, guys, this game, it's just ridiculous. Basically, update 0.21 implements server-side upgrades, which aim to reduce instances of rubber banding, often experienced in the later part of All Out Warfare. Update also reduces instances of stuttering when playing on the map Breakaway. Again, I haven't played some of these new modes.
I think unless the day one patch just moves the game back to April,
bullet registration, it's just not good. And I just wanted to say, if you're gonna play any multiplayer games, it sounds like go play Halo and Vanguard and Warzone, which all work apparently. And Battlefield. I love Battlefield. And I forgot to tell you guys this, Chance and Jose. I did play the Portal. The Portal's pretty cool because it's literally the old maps.
Like, memories,
I was playing Bad Company, and
it
was like the same classes were there. The maps looked great, but here's the problem. It doesn't play the same. It plays with like the physics and the guns from 2042, so it just feels off.
Yeah.
Like it just felt really off, and it wasn't as fun. We played like maybe 2 or 3 maps on it, and then we're like, let's just go back to the normal 2042. So that's bad, and you're not unlocking anything there.
That I saw that it was like there is no incentive to play it other than fun, which should be an incentive, but it's like, but that's also what makes the games fun. Yeah, just bad decision after bad decision.
Yes, correct. And the other thing with the Portal is like they have the same characters, like the engineer, like that we remember from Bad Company, but you're only limited to like certain guns, certain equipment. It's basically a way to play the old maps if you really want to play them. But as far as like the characters and the gameplay concerned, it just didn't feel good, and it's not a reason for me, Chance. I know you're interested, for me to buy the game for that, which kind of sucks. So I just wanted to announce. Battlefield, good luck. I'm going to be playing Halo and Forza and Skyrim at this point. And maybe some of these games coming soon to Game Pass. This is just another quick announcement. I just want to announce these just for everyone to know. Dead Space coming to cloud. Dragon Age Origins, which I think we all beat, coming to cloud. Fear? No, Deer Simulator, Cloud Console PC, Evil Genius 2, Cloud Console PC, EXO 1, Cloud Console PC, Fae Tactics, Cloud Console PC, Undungeon, Cloud Console PC, Mortal Shell, Jay Bizzle, shout out to you, Jay Biz, Mortal Shell, Enhanced Edition, Cloud Console PC. This is like a Dark Souls game. This is for Jay Bizzle right there. One game that I'm interested on Game Pass is My Friend Pedro. I've heard a lot of good things about that. And then Next Space Rebels Cloud Console and PC. So those are games coming to Game Pass. Do you guys have any interest in any of those, or should we move on?
I'm excited to. I will hopefully. When do they come out?
Are they out now? It's this month, like within a
I was
week
like,
or so.
I am hoping and praying that I'll be able to replay Dead Space on my phone with the Backbone.
That's sweet.
Up in the mountains for Thanksgiving break when I'm away from my Series X for the first time ever.
Dude, you got to get a Series S, man. The perfect travel companion.
Oh yeah, how do I do that?
They're available. Series S's are available.
They're kind of available. Yeah, they're not as hard to get. If you really wanted to, you can get a Series S.
I saw one at Park Meadows this weekend in the Amazon store.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. They'll have a few, but then they eventually do sell out. And then, kind of celebrating the Xbox anniversary celebration, Microsoft adds 76 games to backwards compatibility, and there were some cool ones here. So the list, and these actually they mentioned are going to be the last set of games, and it's all due to licensing, technical, and other issues. So this is it as far as Xbox original, Xbox 360 games. Some of the big ones, I'm just going to go through and read some of them for you guys. 50 Cent, Blood in the Sand. Then we've got Dead or Alive. Then we've got the Fear games. Never played a single Fear game. The ones that I'm very interested, I haven't played. Max Payne, all 3 games are there. I have only played the first. I've not played 2, and I have not played 3. Those are on my list. The original Nier is coming. Oddworld. Red Dead Revolver. Chance, I don't know if you ever played that one. Ooh, big one. Ridge Racer 6 is coming to backwards compatibility. A bunch of Star Wars games. Star Wars Starfighter. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I saw someone freaking out on Twitter about that game. Star Wars The Clone Wars. Star Wars Jedi Knight. Jedi Outcast. Time Splitters 2. Time Splitters. Toy Story Mania. And Viva Pinata Party Animals. Gentlemen, were there any games coming in backwards compatibility that you're going to play? Because I'm definitely going to play. I almost bought Max Payne 2 and 3 because I've heard great things. Or can you tell me if I should or should not play any of those? Jose, what about you?
The only ones that like really jumped out, I mean, it's a great list. There are lots of ones. Disney's Chicken Little, Conan, just kidding. Really, all jokes aside, there was a Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I've never played that one, but I would love to play that. And the Fear games I played, I think it was Fear 2. I can't remember, but they were cool, man. I mean, they're definitely in a genre. They're first person shooters, but the horror element's pretty cool. I actually would love to play through those. So depending on how they run, especially in cloud gaming, because they're probably not as intensive on like your hardware and stuff like that, that'd be an awesome thing to have. And then of course 50 Cent, Blood in the Sand, classic game.
Have you played that for real, or you just mocking
absolutely not?
Okay. Bubba Boy, what about you?
That one where they spelled experience wrong. Well, you forgot to name that game.
I don't know what you're talking about. Bubba Boy, tell me
not saying
there's any games that you want to play.
Yeah, never mind. Just go back and read your chat. I think Snelling said something about it. I would echo a lot of what Jose said. Actually, I think I played. I can't remember which Fear it was, but it was actually pretty scary. And I remember playing Resident Evil 7, thinking that the girl reminded me of the girl from Fear, which is always a good nod. Yeah. So.
Speaking of Resident Evil, Chance, there's a big Resident Evil sale going on right now. There's a big Black Friday sale. Actually, public announcement, the Black Friday sales are up. Go spend your money. I'm thinking about buying Resident Evil 3, Jose. It finally dropped to like $17, which I think is the lowest I've seen it. And then Resident Evil Village is $30. So it's like, do I just go and buy
Village, dude?
Or do I just borrow it from Bubble Boy?
I mean, if you can stop by school tomorrow, I'll bring it to work.
I will set up a time to do that because I kind of want to beat 3 first because I haven't played. Did you play 3, Chance?
Oh yeah. Jose let me borrow it.
Okay. And isn't it like fairly
very
quick too?
Which is right up your alley.
Yeah.
But also very good. So.
Okay. So let's move in kind of into the last 2 stories here. Did you guys get a chance to watch the Xbox anniversary celebration that was posted on Monday, and when they did the whole announcement with the launch of the Xbox One and whatnot. Chance, did you watch the video?
Yeah, I did, and I actually got to watch like the first 5 or 6 minutes live when it released that morning.
That's
randomly.
awesome.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it? I thought it was really well done. Like I thought all the clips they chose the show were relevant and funny and did a good job paying respect. I thought some of the classic stuff with like The Rock and Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Even the meme with the Connect, and he's like, "Do you want to see the bottom of the Avatar's shoe?" And like it's just so ridiculous. Like I was surprised that they didn't play a little bit more heavy into the memes, but I guess they probably shouldn't have. Like with the Xbox One launch, they didn't do quite enough with the Xbox One, but I think that was, they kind of want to move past that, which I don't blame them. But I thought it was really well done. I got emotional at some of the parts. I really liked the music that they put. I remember I was watching it at work with Dr. Disrespect was watching it, so I was watching him, and he was just getting all into it too, freaking out. And then the Halo parts, and as soon as I saw the Joe Staten with the crew there, I was like,
I
oh
loved
my gosh, it is happening.
They
Halo's
showed
coming.
that documentary that'll be releasing that I'm excited to watch, and I just love they kept showing that flash of the guy holding up
really
the
well
console
done.
like he was in line and everybody cheering, and it just that was us at Park Meadows, right, when that first dude walked out with his and everybody's cheering him on, and it's like this is the nerdiest but coolest, like just nothing but fun and excitement and people just celebrating something that they love. No hate going on. I love it.
Yeah. And that's I really am glad you said that. It was just an awesome, positive celebration. And it was cool to see all the comments, even like flying by. People really just were happy and celebrating. And even seeing it on Twitter, I was reading all the Xbox 20 hashtags and all the people thanking Xbox for all the cool stuff. And even PlayStation's Twitter, which never, ever comments on Xbox posts. And Xbox usually always post respect towards PlayStation whenever they launch a big game or something happened. They even said congrats or like happy. It was very short, like very like the bare minimum. Yeah, like the bare minimum that PlayStation could probably ever do, acknowledging Xbox. But even them were acknowledging and celebrating Xbox. And it was so cool. And to see the Halo multiplayer launch, like I thought overall, it was just a really awesome, well done celebration for their 20th birthday. And the backwards compatibility, just everything was really, really well put together. Jose, do you have any thoughts on the celebration or in general about turning 20 years old, you guys? Xbox is 20 years old.
That means we're old as caca. No, in general, it was just, again, a lot of it felt like camaraderie and excitement around this thing that we love. And clearly all the people that are involved with Xbox also love. And I also, obviously the Halo drop was also a really cool addition because it was just this here's a present from us to you. And they clearly all knew. So they were just they kept it in, right? Like it was a surprise, which was pretty cool. The other thing I will say, I'm not embarrassed by any means, but it made me watch Red Notice, that movie on Netflix with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, because there's that giveaway. And I tried to do the questions, and there are a bunch about the movie. I was like, I didn't see the movie, but I watched it. It was decent. I actually really liked the movie. There's some cool twists in it. Definitely really funny. A lot of chemistry. I love all those actors and actresses. So I watched that, and it's just a great time to be an Xbox fan. One thing that I thought was interesting, and not to be a downer on this, but I was watching on IGN. They were doing a year later on the Xbox, how is it comparing a year later? They gave it the same score, which was an 8, which is fine, I guess.
But what?
But I was really surprised that they weren't more they did definitely talk about the benefits of Game Pass. They talked about the games, but I was like, man, I know I'm biased, but I thought they killed it. At least give them a 9, an upgraded at once. So I was surprised by that.
And at this point, I'm pretty sure that came out after the Halo announcement and Forza. We have great games out right now.
Amazing games.
I was just what was the point of that? And they really kind of came down hard, oh, you have to go through all these menus to get to Spotify. Yeah, that's a main concern of my console, is being able to play Spotify, not the freaking games that have come from Game Pass. That made me mad. I agree.
And you don't if you pin it. And then you don't have to go through a bunch of menus. You can customize it.
But again, it's a video game console that's giving us a crap ton of games, high quality games right now. But no, we're going to critique it for the menus. One thing I will say as a knock for it, game DVR. Guys, Xbox, please, you got to fix this. I can't take this anymore. My game DVR is just done, broken. Maybe it's my Xbox, but sucks. They really need to overhaul that. I did want to mention, along with the 20-year anniversary, guys, if you haven't listened, Seamus Blackley did an interview on Kind of Funny Xcast with Snowbike Mike and Paris Lilly. Awesome. It's about the relationship that Seamus, he was one of the original, basically the original creator of the Xbox, the original Xbox back in 2000. And he talked about how he developed this relationship with the reporter who basically outed him for like, hey, are you guys making a console? And like let it out to the world, who caused him all kinds of stress and like coming at him from, you know, the journalist side, but now they're like best friends. And he's like, without him pushing me, I wouldn't have, you know, responded well to that. Definitely give that a listen. And also Seamus did an interview on Unlocked, and it really hit me how stressful this was for him and how like he was really down on himself for this. He thought it was going to be like this huge failure. And like Jose said, like he kept stressing that everyone thought Microsoft launching a console was the biggest joke of jokes. Like they're known for spreadsheets and software, and why, like, there's no way that this is going to succeed.
Like stay in your lane kind of thing.
And just like, and he actually, he mentioned a bit funny story. He went to EA to get their backing. And that was when Don Matrick was actually the head at EA at the time. Don Matrick, the famous, you know, Xbox One head of Xbox, like, we have a product for you. And it's called Xbox 360 if you can't connect to the internet. And, you know, he's gone now, but we met with Seamus and he's like, I don't believe you're making a console. Call Bill Gates right now. I want to talk to him. And I want to hear it from him that you guys are making a console. Like, it was that serious. Like, nobody believed him. And Seamus kept stressing that I knew for us to succeed, we had to get the games. We had to get developers behind us. And he did. He got us Halo. Like, Halo, without Halo, the Xbox is not around. He saw that. He mentioned Fusion Frenzy. He mentioned some of the Japanese games and developers. He's like, I knew we weren't going to sell in Japan, but I knew we had to get them on here for people to take us serious, to get developers serious with us. And it's just really interesting. Like, basically, he was facing so many great odds against him. And the fact that Xbox has not only succeeded as a global brand, and we're celebrating it 20 years later. I remember I saw a comment on Twitter of a guy saying, hey, man, you should be proud how many products last 20 years. And it's like, only at this point, I feel like we're on like a huge exponential growth potentially. And he's like, you need to like celebrate that. And it really got like, I got some feels from it, because you could tell he was like really appreciative of like all the work that he put in and all those like heartbreaking nights. So shout out to Seamus Blackley. We got to get you on the show. Also an amazing baker. Follow him on Twitter. Guys, I wanted to close the news with this last thing. And just, I want to hear your thoughts, Chance. And this is coming from Jez Gordon, the awesome stepfather of Xbox. And there's an awesome article. I suggest everyone go read it. And this is on Windows Central. The Game Awards snub of Forza Horizon 5 is a disservice to the entire game industry. And basically he's arguing that one of the most played games, the most highly rated games, one of the most out of the box games, one of the most accessible games to everyone, how it was not nominated for Game of the Year this year. If it's not nominated this year, how could it ever be nominated? And why wasn't this game nominated for Game of the Year? It fits all the criteria. And I don't want to give away too much. Everyone should just go read it. Chance, I want to go straight to you. Did you read it? Please tell me you read this, because I thought it was phenomenal.
The entire thing. Did you read the update?
No, I just wanted to see
today?
it.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. So give me your thoughts.
Okay, so the update is where it's important, and I think this is what I was like, oh, well, that makes all the sense in the world, and that's just dumb. Why don't you let people re-vote? So what happened was all those people that got to vote, their votes were due November 4th. Oh. And remember, you could only play if you had the car pack DLC stuff on November 5th. And then there was this like really unknown, hey, you could go back and change your votes up until November 11th, that I guess like almost nobody did. So one, I was like, okay, that makes me feel a whole lot better, but two, like a whole lot worse, almost like, how could they not be smarter than that? How do you plan something this big and not match it up to where you could
Exactly.
get a
It's
game that should be considered for
okay,
this?
I just want to read this. Jeff Keighley stated on Twitter that Forza Horizon 5 was indeed eligible for this award, the cutoff date being set at November 19th. However, game journalists were told that they had to submit their picks by November 4th. So what's the point of the November 19th date if they have to submit things by the 4th? And
The
then
19th was when the game had to be released.
so why
So
can't they
it's 'cause
submit
someone
until the
was,
19th? Like,
they were talking they
either
were talking about how, like, oh, well, why don't we just go all the way through this year? Because Halo will be eligible for next year's, right? They're like, we have to have a cutoff someday. And then, but you're right. It's like, okay, well, if the 19th is your day, then you need to wait until the 19th unless there's literally nothing coming out. Like, what was that one game that we all liked?
Battlefield comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just, I
Right?
get
Like,
it. And all things considered, like, is it that big of a deal? Probably
No,
not.
because then they'll get to have their like mic drop, and I think they said it at the end of that article where
I hope it
when
wins the player's
there
choice.
there will be more players still playing that game than all the other games combined a year from now, 2 months from now, right? And they were like, and that's really like, okay, well, here's the actual award.
Yeah, and Jeff Keighley also said, like, oh well, there's a player's choice of a vote, so make sure you vote and make your voice heard there. And then I try to go vote, and it's like you need to sign in with something. Like, that's so dumb. Just let me vote. But I just, guys, I love Forza Horizon 5, and I will gladly go back to it. But I've been there from the beginning, and I feel like this is the year where they finally got their due, and I just feel so bad that they weren't nominated. And I just wanted to shout out that I did on the Xbox Record this Twitter account. I wrote to Mike, and he's the head of, what's his title? He is the creative director of Forza Horizon 5. And he wrote this tweet. He said, amazing, on the day when all the nominations came out, he said, amazing to be nominated for best sports/racing. Of course, they're going to win it easily. So happy for the We Are Playground team. I love how this category always has a diverse mix of game. And I said, very humble of you, Mike, but we all know that Forza Horizon 5 should have been nominated for overall game of the year. Thank you and all the team at Playground. You guys have been killing it from the very first Horizon game. Cheers to 10 million players and to the next 10 million. And he liked it. So and a bunch of people were writing the same thing, and I'm sure they've got nothing but amazing feedback. And to them, they're hearing from, you're right, who matters most, the players, that their game of the year. But I still am so mad that it wasn't nominated. This is exactly it. And even Mr. Matty Plays on Define and Duke, he tweeted out, if Forza Horizon 5 isn't going to be nominated this year, then when is it ever going to be nominated? Because this is the year. This is the year for it to be nominated. These other games were great, but Forza Horizon 5 is better than Ratchet and Clank. Forza Horizon 5 is better than some of those other games. Like, and I just feel so bad for them because they deserve that recognition to at least be nominated. I'm not saying they have to win. And Psychonauts 2, thank God Psychonauts 2 is there, and that would be my vote for game of the year from their selection. But Jose, do you have any thoughts on the whole Forza Horizon 5 snub? And I know you haven't played as much as me, because you got to remember, I did play that I played more than all of you guys that full week. So again, not doing a single race. Love the game.
No, I don't have a lot to add that you guys didn't already say. I would say, even as much as I loved Resident Evil, like, I was shocked when I saw the list of like the top games, and I was like, I can't believe Forza's not there. And it reminds me, honestly, even though I don't ever really watch the Oscars, like, that's just not, like, I don't take the time to do that. They have the same problem, right? Because there's a cutoff. There are movies that come off after that cutoff that can never win. It's also the similar thing where they don't, like, comedies never win Oscars. Like, there's not a category for comedies, which is unfortunate, because I still think that's an incredible art to be able to make that kind of movie. So, I would just say it's a flawed system. Is it unfair? Absolutely. But there's not a whole life in life that is actually fair. So I know that they will get ultimately the money that they deserve for their incredible game. They'll get the recognition from the true fans. I hope they do win the People's Choice Award, because they really are the People's Choice for such an incredible game. I just, and should they have changed their release date? I don't know, man. Maybe, it sounds to me more that they care about putting out a great product that they loved and that they know that we would love. And I have all the respect in the world for that.
Yeah. So I just want to say once again, shout out to Forza Horizon 5. Fantastic game. Will be on my game of the year list. We need to talk about that. Guys, do you want to briefly talk about, I do want to bring this up and then just something to think about into for next episode or upcoming episodes. I wanted to talk about our rating scale. And Chance, I wanted to throw this idea at you. I really loved how you've put it sometimes recently. Is it worth your time, worth your money, worth Game Pass, or worth caca? I think that's what we need to change it to. So is it worth your time? If it's a yes, that means we will buy it. Is it worth the money? You can give it a certain amount, like don't pay more than this. And then
should we put a number of hours though?
Play it on
like
Game
it's
Pass,
worth
and if it's
200
not
hours.
worth it or not worth it. No, I just want it to be simple. Like I would rather narrow it down to like 3 items. I like worth the time, worth your money, worth Game Pass. And how we define worth your time or money, we can maybe that's just it. Like, and if it's not worth any of those,
it's worth your caca.
It's not worth playing. Like, it doesn't even have to be. So what do you think, Chance? I think, yeah, I like worth your time is something like, yes, this is worth your time and you should pay full price for this. Worth money, maybe wait on it, wait for sale. At most, I would pay this. This is on Game Pass, immediately go play it. And then if it doesn't fit any of those,
because if it's not worth your time and it's not worth your money,
play it, right? So, yeah. So just something to think about. I just wanted to throw that out there. Jose, do you have any thoughts on the scale?
No, I like the simplified
do we want to stay with? Yeah. Do we want to get rid of the number system? It's not like or do you like having that Chance? Let me ask you.
I don't. I think you can remember back to the very first time we talked about this that I was like, it felt a little too generic. I do, when we're talking about games, it's the first thing you ask me or I ask Jose, right? Like, oh, is it worth $17? Okay, check or not check. And then, oh, is it worth the 100 hours to play Dragon Age Inquisition, right? Like, clearly, like, what would you say for Skyrim? Like, okay, is it worth what's it worth? $200, I think you've probably paid into that, and then worth your time 500 hours. Yeah, like, so I think that if we were gonna put a number system, that would be where it is. But I also don't like I don't think that makes sense there either, because then we really are putting a number on it. But
okay, so
I thought I was, and I know you cut me off.
No gaming grades.
I know, I got over that. Like the type of time and the quality of time that you put into it, I think that would be fun. But
I want to simple it down even more.
I know.
I know Jose is with me on this.
Yeah, I like
Jose,
time.
Any thoughts?
I mean, here's what I would say. I like our approach because we started this podcast with the premise of like, we're all dads, but we love to game and we're trying to find that balance in our life. And I think the simple scale of, is it worth your time? Is it worth your money? Fits really well into that. To say that, like, as a parent, as a working professional, as someone who has other hobbies in addition to video games, ultimately, is it worth my time and money? I think that's a very simple, easy, and unique scale for us here at Xbox Record This for sure.
Yeah, I like it. Let's think about that going into next week. Chance, why don't you close it off? Introduce our good old days right about now.
I want Chipotle because it's really Chipotle's thing.
Okay, Chipotle Bear, tell us about the good
remembered
old days.
That we kept pushing it, and
so we've hinted at this one for a while, and I was surprised for myself when I started doing it that what I wanted to talk about was what are the top video game movie adaptations that exist. And here's when I first said it, I legitimately thought like there's only like 8 of them anyway. I started doing research and I was like, man, there really have actually been a lot of them, and some were like less tied to the actual game, obviously, but still.
And they're all caca, man.
They're not all caca. I disagree. So I'll back clean up on this because I was the most passionate about it. And we'll start with Mr. Negative himself. Why don't you go ahead and go first?
Perfect. Let's jump into this, guys. Are there any good video game movies? I really struggled at this one, and I think my list speaks for itself. Number 5, Assassin's Creed 2016. I mean, all things considered, it showed the Animus. It had a pretty big actor, right?
it did not show the Animus.
Nope.
It showed a farcical, terrible adaptation.
Well, something along the
lines.
lines, you know, it
did not show
the bleeding
the
effect.
Animus.
I don't even remember the movie. Number 4, I do remember this one being scary. and I think this is the one because I didn't know there was one in 2006. I had put down Silent Hill Revelation. I feel like this also had a big actress. What's her face from Matrix? I think was in it.
Carrie-Anne Moss?
Yes. One of the Silent Hill movies, I can't remember if it was the 2006 one or this 2012 one I listed, was actually scary and actually felt like a Silent Hill movie. And I see Chance nodding his head there, so I have to be on that something there. Number 3.
I'm nodding my head because I'm like, what an incredible like review of, like such an accolade for Dan to say.
I can't remember which one it was,
or who was in it, or what it was about.
Guys, video game movies, am I right? Number 3, Resident Evil, the first one that came out with Mila Kunis. This was back in 2002. It kind of followed, Mila Jovovich. It kind of followed the somewhat Resident Evil tone and story.
It
like
had the mansion, the underground thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It had a potential Leon cop guy, but wasn't Leon, It started really well. Then they've just gone completely mad and crazy. And what's worse is I think I've seen most of them somehow. I don't know why. And I always remember the laser room with the lasers that slice up that guy. That
right through the eye.
That was pretty. I should have ended my list there. That's probably the real number 1. Number 2, Super Mario Brothers, 1993. What else do I need to say about that? Number 1, Mortal Kombat, 1995. Mortal Kombat.
Fatality.
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. Okay, that's
for Snelling.
Best music ever. Best
soundtrack.
Right.
Oh
there. Yeah, hands down. So pretty good list right there. Bubble Boy, what about you?
Does Final Fantasy VII Advent Children count? Is essentially just a really
I would have put it on my list.
Sure, you
it's like
nerd.
a really long
sure,
cutscene that they added in, and it's not real live actors. Okay, so
nerd.
That comes in.
Hey, buddy, did you get a load of that nerd?
Also,
over there?
I think you just created the title for this week's, which is video game movies. Am I right? So yeah, that'll start my list, and then ending my list, Mortal Kombat 95 and 2021 versions. That's my entire list. Moving on.
Or your entire list.
So you made fun of me, but Bubble Boy only has.
I tried,
and that's.
I tried.
I can't even argue with this list. Mine was like
they had the Street Fighter, and I was like, oh, I had Jean-Claude
dude,
Van Damme.
They had like 40 movies.
And
I didn't know if there was a Far Cry movie. I was like, what?
I'm sorry, Chapo, and I love you. And it was not, I couldn't continue to do top 5s if I put some of those others on there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember Jose saying like
that Assassin's Creed, Daniel, movies. I'm offended that you put that on there.
Yeah, I am too. That's very low on my list.
You guys thought that was that bad? I remember I liked it.
And the fact that what they did with the Animus was what was so egregious.
Yeah, I remember the Animus was kind of messed up. Now
Michael
that we're talking about it, but yeah, I mean, they tried. Jose, give us your list. Let's hear it.
So yeah, so I should clarify when I said good movie, I'm not talking about Oscar-worthy movies. I'm talking about movies that are fun and that relatively stayed true to like the game itself, or did it in a very creative way that wasn't stupid. So my number 5 was actually the 2019 Detective Pikachu. You guys probably didn't see that movie. I did because Penelope was old enough and was just getting into Pokemon. I thought it was actually pretty solid. Ryan Reynolds was a great voice character for Pikachu, and it was like very endearing. You got to see a lot of your like favorite Pokemon in like the most authentic version of what they could look like if they were real. I thought they did a great job with it. I honestly hope they make a sequel to it. I thought it was pretty good. Number 4, I actually put the new Mortal Kombat, but as a dethrone of the old one. For a long time, I swear to you, I think that first one was such a fun movie. Terrible acting. Stories like very loose. Characters are like
Johnny Cage.
They really tried hard to build a story out of
Blade.
Something that didn't have a story. But it was also, I had a lot of nostalgia because I went with Chance to go see that movie. I remember Mama Rita took both of us, and I'm sure the whole time she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I brought my children to this movie. Because it was also at the time when Mortal Kombat was so still controversial as like a game, and this movie, and yeah, I remember we left and we were like dancing to this like trip hop techno.
The Scorpion part. And
Yeah.
Sub-Zero, those guys were pretty cool at the time.
Yes, but we were like,
Is
I
it
can remember
Raiden
his
or
hand-
Raiden?
His hand like
Yeah, his hand
splitting.
opens up and the
Yeah.
little.
Did you? But hold on, because it just hit me. Daniel, did you not see the new Mortal Kombat? Oh my god, it's really good.
It's
it
so good,
actually,
dude. That's why I said
like
it
the new
dethroned.
Mortal Kombat. It
Yeah.
and some of the fight scenes, the Scorpion and Sub-Zero is.
It's dope, dude. You should.
You need
it's
to.
totally
You have
worth your
HBO
time.
Max, right? Yeah. How else are you watching Sopranos?
Yeah, it was like limited time, and then they took it away. So I'm sure it'll be
I think
back.
it's back now.
Yeah, I think it's
now.
back.
Well, again, worth your time, worth
Worth
your
your
money. Anyways,
time. It's absolutely worth your time, and it's free.
I still need to finish Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, you
That's on
saw
my-
the bus scene, so
I'm gonna do it on my flight to Atlanta. Number 3 for me was also the Resident Evil, the original with Mila Jovovich. I thought it was pretty solid. You know, it was a decent cast: Michelle Rodriguez, Mila Jovovich. I forgot the guy that eventually becomes Nemesis, but he's a pretty famous actor too. And again, it was very much in the style of the games, which I appreciated. And I did see all the subsequent ones too. You know, they get more crazy as they go along because they were just people paid for that kind of stuff. But I'm actually really excited. Speaking of which, I think it's like 6 days from now that new Resident Evil comes out, the Raccoon City one. That's actually like a true tribute to Resident Evil 2. That might dethrone this one once it comes out. Obviously,
Maybe
I'll check it out.
it looks so low budget though. Like
I don't think it
people
looks
were
low
like,
budget. I think it looks
dude,
good.
it looks low.
Okay,
low,
1993
low.
Mortal Kombat. Let's not pass judgment here. Number 2 was the Mario Brothers from 1993 with John Leguizamo. It was so like, I mean, how do you make a movie out of Mario? Like that's really the ultimate question. But
You only make that masterpiece right there.
It was so crazy and like
was
the
those
little
Koopa
bomb,
Yeah,
and like
they were
man, I just
so
thought it was such a great movie. In terms of that, as a kid, it was just like, oh my god, it's like really happening. And in hindsight, it's pretty bad. But I definitely will go back and I should watch that again with Penelope. She'd probably be like, Dad, what are we watching? And then my number 1, I swear to you, because I thought it was pretty fun adaptation, was Doom, the one with The Rock, and I can't remember his name right now, but I thought a good adaptation
Jason
of the
Statham
game.
in it or no?
No, it's God, I can't think of his name, but it's The Rock is like one of the main
Rock,
characters.
wasn't it? Like before he was
before he gets
swole?
really really big. He still has hair, but he plays actually a pretty cool character.
Was it Carl Urban?
Carl
guy
Urban?
in
That's
Star
the one I
Trek?
was thinking of. Yeah, it was pretty solid. You know, honorable mentions on
Dude,
there.
it's got Rosamund Pike in it too.
I told
from
you.
Gone Girl. Man, smokestack
Yeah.
right there.
So with Street Fighter, you know, because it was such a pretty stellar cast, Raul Julia and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it's a pretty terrible movie. Like again, they're trying to build a story out of something that doesn't really have a story, and it's a classic '90s film. Because they also wanted to get all their signature moves in the movie. Do you remember that? Like they made him try to do like the sonic boom and stuff like that. Also, this is not an actual like theater movie, but if you have time at work like over Christmas and you're just trying to waste time, go to YouTube and search Mario Warfare. It's a fan film. It's a series of like 8 or 9 movies that's a fan film of Mario in the style of The Matrix, and it's awesome. And it's all made by like amateurs with their friends. Super cool, man. Check it out, Mario Warfare. And then also I just had to put on there, it's not an actual movie, but they made a trailer for Minecraft in the early 2000s where like it's again a fan film of like there's these friends that just like to make movies, and they're basically explaining the rules to Minecraft, that old PC game, as like a Michael Bay style explosion movie. Just hilarious. Like go check that out, the Minecraft trailer on YouTube. So you know, I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I know this was not your favorite thing, and I've had it on the list for a long time. But again, I love everything about video games. And even though you guys did too, you still seen a lot of these crappy movies because, again, you love them too. And now, maybe with the advent of Mortal Kombat, maybe this new Resident Evil, maybe we are going to see a new era of actually pretty cool video game style movies. So we'll see. I
Hey,
don't know.
we've got the Uncharted movie coming up
Yeah,
here. Maybe
yeah,
it'll make
Tom
our
Holland.
list, you know? Still have mixed feelings on that. And also, I do think that potential for video games is in TV series. Like I will watch or check out The Last of Us because it's on HBO.
Yeah.
And we finally got the Halo movie.
The series.
TV
yeah.
show.
I'm going to check that out for sure.
Trailer
Gonna be
during
on
the 20th
Paramount,
anniversary.
right?
Well, it was supposed to be on Showtime, but Paramount has more people. So I'm going
So
to
I
pay
have to
for
buy
it. I
Paramount
can't
now?
wait. Yeah, well, you get Star Trek on there. Thank you, Chipotle Bear, for giving us that idea for the good old days. I just burped in my mouth. So, guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I'll start off here because mine's pretty simple. I had Popeyes again, added to the list. And Popeyes! Loved it. Guys, the one off of I-70 and Peoria, cash money. They gave me so much of that amazing spicy sauce on there. It was, I ate it before I even got back on the highway, and it's right off the highway. So that should say
how many sandwiches did you have?
That chicken at Popeye. Just one. I only had one this week.
Add it to the count.
You'd be shocked. I know. Add it to the count. And then I want to give a huge shout out. Something simple, but I've had it a lot this week. Honey bunches of oats with almonds. I've had so many bowls of that this week. Delicious. And we got to get into our top 5 cereals. It's something we need to do eventually. We all know we were going to do it.
All right, next
Huge
week
shout
it is.
out. That's the best food I had this week. Somebody go next.
I'll go. I'm unmuted. Ashley made steak, which is not something we have very often, but it had some sort of sauce thing, which I typically don't like. Sauces, or certainly not like an A1 or anything like that, or ketchup, Patrick Mahomes. But
Mahomes is my boy, because when I was growing up, loved my ketchup with steak. Okay, now I like
I
Mahomes.
can't hate on him for it. But it was awesome, and I feel like only ever had steaks from the grill. Ashley made steaks in the frying pan this time because it was really cold out that night, and she was like, "Oh, let's do this." And I was really impressed. It was super juicy. It retained all the flavors of whatever, I don't know, sauce that was in it. So it was really good.
Nice. Shout out, Ashley.
Shout out to Ash. Shout out.
My top meal this week was actually, it was also a homemade one. At a Costco, they have an orange chicken bundle that is phenomenal. It's in the frozen section. And to be fair, it's phenomenal in an air fryer. So you air fry this already pre-fried chicken. It gives you like the orange sauce. And we get the fried rice from Trader Joe's. It comes pre-packaged and ready to go. And you just we add egg to it because we like add egg in our fried rice. And then my wife, who trying to do her best to make me healthy. Thanks, babe. She puts cauliflower in the rice, and I can't taste it. So great, whatever. But the reason it was awesome is because we found they had crab cheese wontons. They were frozen, so you threw those in the air fryer. We got that full, I'm sure, very authentic Asian meal.
Just canceled out your healthy rice and cauliflower.
I like to call it balancing it. I think balance is it. But it was great, man. It's an awesome meal that we get all the time, and the girls even love it. And we got them to eat it by calling it candy chicken. So that's a parenting pro tip, because they were like, orange chicken, I don't even like it. And I was like, oh no, it's candy chicken. They're like, oh, well, I love candy and chicken. Let's make this happen. So now when we go places, it's like, can I get candy chicken? And I'm always like, it's orange chicken, to the waiter, waitress. It's awesome. So pro tip there.
And the one day someone doesn't hear you whisper that, they're gonna be like, I don't know, these girls want some candy chicken. Some dude,
what do we do?
Out of his mind, some candy chicken. Mind in the back, and he's gonna bring something to you guys. Yeah, he's gonna be like, "This is my Magna Cum." I'm just calling it now.
Yeah.
And Jose, the reason why you couldn't chase the cauliflower and that fried rice is because rice tastes like nothing as it is. So there you go. Gentlemen, this has been Xbox Record This, episode 29. Make sure all of you out there, please send us your top 5 ideas or your questions or your comments. Xbacon Gamin, I expect to hear from you. Felix, I expect to hear from you more. Snellavad, non-shout out to Snelling. Feel free to write in. Yeah. J-Biz, yeah, where have you been? You've been slacking. You can follow us and find us everywhere on social media at Xbox Record This. My name is Daddy D. Wally. You can find me at Daddy D. Wally across all social media. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Twitter, Chipotle_Bear, or on Instagram at Chipotle Bear. Currently, I have people on You Have to Request to Be My Friend, because I've been getting a lot of people trying to sell me Bitcoin on Instagram. So no shame, but if you do find me and you're a legit fan, happy to add you there.
And Bubble Boy, are you even online anymore?
What's
I don't know
Bitcoin?
what's going on. Well, as always, Spartans, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
Love that chicken at Popeye. Xbox Record This is a podcast created by Daniel Walenzik. You can follow him at Daddy Diwali on all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear on Twitter. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. You can follow the show at Xbox Record This on all social media. If you'd like to find out more about the show, visit xboxrecordthis.com.